So Raid have just dropped, or for the content creators, they've dropped this little, kind of like little bit called Back to the Roots. So it's all in celebration of Raid's 4th anniversary. Yeah, all part of the party. They're after kind of like, almost like a bit of a story behind how did we get into Raid as a content creator? You know, where did it come from? Perhaps have a look through the first video that you produced and, you know, give a bit of a vibe about why I got into it. So well, this is quite a cool idea. And also, to make it even a better kind of setup, anyone who gets involved, i.e. me, I'm able to give my audience, or 5 winners from my audience, a legendary tome, a 5-star chicken, XP boost, energy, and some multi-battles. So I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting involved. Oh, here it is. 10,000 views 3 years ago. This is it. This is the video. So this is the one. This is the first video I ever made on YouTube. Let's get a bit zoomed in on this. This is the first video. This is the one that set me up. And it probably looks like a nothing thing anymore, right? 290k player power 3 years ago. That was a big number. Yeah, that was a big number. And I guess let's just take it back a step from that, right? What made me start being a content creator? Like, I would say I'm not the sort of person that has got, you know, like the most natural charisma, the confidence really to get behind the camera and do this type of stuff. I was in a job where I had to kind of be pretty like out there. I was in a sales job. I had to be kind of like customer facing and, you know, get involved. But I wasn't the sort of person that would put myself out there on YouTube. And I was actually on holiday with my mum and my sister and our families. And I've been playing Raid. And I used to commute into London and play Raid on the train. That's what started me off. And I was like, you know what? I watch a lot of content from Chosen, from Stu in the Day, Kizzle. And Kizzle left. And I was like, I feel like I can offer some help to people. Like, I was almost in a clan where I was always just like offering advice. Yeah, this is how you improve your clan boss team. This is how you improve your arena team. And I was very active in the Raid Discord and in-game chat. And basically, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try and do a couple of videos. And this was the first one I did. I've got to say, it's one of the scariest things I've ever done. It was one of the scariest things I've ever done. And it's stupid because I was just sitting there in front of a laptop. I'd written out this kind of script of what I was going to do. And all I was doing was like basically reading out the script. Let's play it. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, it is an eye-opener. Let's call it that. Like, compared to, for those who's around, I guess let's have a quick, oh, look, let me stop. Let's have a quick show of hands. Who was there at the start? Who's been around for a while? Yeah, who was there going back, whatever this is, like 3.5 years? There's probably, I doubt there's many people left, honestly. Like, who's still playing the game from that long ago? Mark, Blazing, yeah, a few maybe a few. Swiftcut. Like, I would be surprised if there really was that many, because, I mean, it was a long time ago now. We're talking before, you know, before Faction Wars was a thing, before Tag Team Arena was a thing. It was a long time ago. Look at this. So my intro, I didn't know. I was crap. Everything I did in terms of editing, everything, I couldn't do it. So I learned every single day. I learned a new skill, and I was like, right, this is what you see before you go into a video. Like, this is what I'm seeing right now. This is the same screen, yeah? I just left it in. Just left it in the video. I didn't cut it out. Just left it there for people to see at the start. Let's kill the music on this for a sec.
Currently, and I want to show you a video on how to build a high defense, high resist arena team to combat the speed teams that are kind of overruling the meta at the moment.
I mean, the first thing, right? I sound so bored. I sound so bored of what I'm doing. Obviously, I've got no face. You can't see any expression or something. I'm literally just there, like, basically shaking, reading a piece of paper. And I wanted to show that Arena was not just about speed. I wanted to show that Arena was about, could be about something different.
Actually, Stu Gaming did a video recently about trying to face my team.
Calling out the Stu Gaming there. He's not around anymore, the fella.
Which was really good fun to watch. It actually showed how he did beat it, but he had to almost rework his whole sort of standard arena style team to be able to take it on. You know, serious investment in masteries, gear, and actually that's what I want from the arena. I want a competitive leaderboard. I want people to have to think about who they're going to face and how they're going to face them. So it just compelled me really to make a video to show how I've built my team.
Monotone, yeah, I know.
And how that team works in the current meta. So firstly, let me just show you my champs.
That's a good shout out. I'm 500,000 from 100 million views today. Three and a bit years on, I've almost hit 100 million views playing Raid Shadow Legends. Who could believe this video, the first one, would lead to that? I can't. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I was like, I can't believe where we are, honestly.
I've got a good roster. I'm not gonna deny that. But my inspiration for this comp was this fella here.
Inspired by Norog.
Norog. He was sitting in my vault. He was an unwanted champ, I think, by just about everyone.
Norog in Frost gear. Like, this is it. It's where it all began, guys. Norog in a Frost set, running at like 160 speed. I would rip someone apart for this build nowadays. Let's go to a couple of the builds here. So, Norog was one in a Frost set. He was like 330 resistance, which back in the day, this sort of player power, 72,000, was insanely high. It was very, very high. Second one we had was Ignatius, 72,000 player power. Let's see what this build looks like.
Provoke and turn people on fire. Brilliant. And also stun. Man. So some real key things which are going to take out an enemy team in the arena. My third arena champ is Molly. Recently used her.
I'll show my build.
Recently fused her.
84k power
I
here.
actually thought she would be a good champ when it was high.
Yeah, so she was a new fusion. Look at this. Nearly 400 resistance. This was like giga high. People face this team and they could not put debuffs on it. They literally couldn't do it. It was pretty ridiculous. 160 speed, 400 odd resistance, 5k defense, 40 odd thousand health.
Base resist. And 2, she has got this fantastic ability.
It was my 4th.
Which provokes.
I think it was Warlord
here.
Yeah.
Warlord.
Warlord. I pulled him out of my clan boss team at the time because I was like, this guy needs to come in and help me. 60k power Warlord.
So actually, my 4th slot,
there was no empowerment here. There was no blessings. Like, the game was a different game.
Toyed with a few different people. I easily could go for a higher overall team power if I put in somebody that was a bit more similar to the other.
Build looks like. I think it's shield set, yeah. Shield set. So I was going for super high HP on my shield set Warlord. Again, 180 speed here, like super slow. 330 resistance, which I felt was big. Shield set like 70k health. If you're not over 100k health nowadays, like what are you even doing? Are you even playing the game? Yeah, no stone skin, no reaction, no swift parry. It was a straight up fight. Let's get into a couple of battles here. I was showcasing that you don't have to go fast to win. That's what I was trying to showcase anyway. So I had Warlord as my lead with resistance lead. So again, I was pumping that resistance. And then basically all tanks. And this 290k player power was massive. Absolutely massive.
Abilities cast on me.
Don't I sound so bored though? Sound so bored. So yeah, it was one of the original Go second teams. That's it.
I'm going to run this on auto.
Resist.
So you can see how this team would react to being faced.
Nothing lands.
That's how I generally use it. You'll see already all of the resists that are just coming on for my team. Taunts that are being.
I was nervous, Chris. Yeah, I was.
And the big shield I've got from Warlord and his sort of general kit is basically making
I'm so proud of this team.
not being attacked at all. So although these guys are pretty
Rain Beast was already nerfed by this point, by the way. I see a few people asking about Rain Beast who remember Rain Beast to be an absolute beast, and he was. He was already nerfed by this point, so he wouldn't have been in there.
He's strong. It's not the weakest opponent I'd ever face here, but it just.
I just wore him down.
They haven't really touched me yet. Here we go. So it's the first time I've really taken any damage.
You bought
there
Corona. Nice.
And at this stage, I mean, if you're the person who's facing me on the receiving end here, then I think probably you leave the battle. My aim actually is to, if people are trying to take me on and actually do it seriously, a bit like what Stu did a few days ago, my aim is to make them eventually just want to leave the battle.
This was like, basically I was max ranked. Gold 4, there was no plat at this point, I don't think. Anyway, I don't think it was plat. I was just like trying to find a way to make arena more fun. Yeah, it was I had a I was literally using a laptop to record. I had a headset, which was my gaming headset. Hedgie must have been noob back then.
I'll slow this one down slightly just so you can see
×1 speed.
The way the debuffs are trying to land. Hegemon comes in, all resisted, barely any damage. All resisted again, barely any damage.
You know what's funny? I don't even think I used my Warlord lockout here. I used Warlord as a shield champion back here. It wasn't for lockouts.
Throw auto on. Warlord's going to buff my team. And then I actually start to do pretty serious damage considering I'm just a defensive comp. Because Norog and Ignatius are both really high level defense. And they've actually got a decent amount of crit about them as well. So you see here, the team I'm facing, they're all about debuffs and CC.
And slam.
Yeah, they've not...
But don't I sound so bored? Like, this is the first video, 290k player power. It's where it all began. This is where it all began 3.5 odd years ago, which is pretty nuts. And look at me nowadays, streaming to 1,000 people. It's actually bonkers. It blows my mind. We've got a website. It's had like, Saf, how many people have been on the website today? How many people have been on the website and how many people have optimized gear today? It's ridiculous. I was concentrated. I was calm. But I don't know if I was calm. I was actually bricking it. I was bricking it, honestly. But, yeah. 300,000 people been on the website today. At least. It's crazy, right? It's actually crazy. But there you go. That's where it all began, guys. That's how my journey as a content creator, my journey into Raid began. And... since then, we've had the recap video. I've now pulled 296 legendary champions. Insane.